Occasionally I get asked about my shop-made marking gauges, so let's take a quick look. For drawing circles I have this mini compass and this beam compass or trammel. And these are both John Heisz designs, so I will add links to his videos in the description below. I have two center finders, one for marking dowels and one for marking discs. The dowel marking jig is made from two sections of 1/2-inch plywood, nailed together to form a right angle, with an equilateral triangle secured to one end. The overall length of the jig supports the workpiece, making it easy to hold and rotate with one hand while you mark with the other. It also works with small square stock. The disc marking gauge is made of 3/4 inch plywood. The bottom lamination has a 90-degree notch, which provides 2 points of registration against the edge of a disc. The top lamination is half the width of the bottom and extends across the workpiece. This provides a straight edge for marking the center point. This gauge also works with square stock. I find myself working with a lot of 3/4 inch material. To eliminate the need for multiple combination squares, or constantly resetting a solitary square, therein reducing the opportunity for error, I made this edge marking gauge, or offset gauge. This gauge was made by sandwiching a 3/4 inch strip of plywood between two sections of hardboard. The table saw was then used to rip one face down to a 3/4 inch offset, with the opposing at an inch offset. I used the small section to mark individual points on a board, while I used the longer section to mark entire edges. This is a great solution, but because of its two faces, its limitation is 3/4 inch stock or less, which is why I made this set of gauges. These gauges are made from 3/4 inch poplar and a 1/4 inch acrylic. They range from a 1/4 inch offset all the way up through an inch and 3/4. The 3/4 inch stock was cut into sections of 1 by 8 inches. The acrylic was then secured using CA glue and ripped to the desired offset using a specialty blade. I then came back and added screws to lock the parts together. Feeding my desire for organization, I made a storage rack out of 1/2 inch plywood and more poplar strips. Each gauge has a countersunk rare earth magnet which aligns with the sheetrock screw on the rack. I have Instructables for the center finders as well as the edge marking gauges, so I will add links to all those in the description.